When women sense that you are not capable of being manipulated, especially as a man with a full sack, the essence of their wishing you perniciousness is going to persist very heavily because they are upset that they're not getting their way with you and that you can't be controlled. And yet, this is the same type of thing that is going to really make them attracted to you, because everybody is very attracted to people who can't be controlled. People who can't be controlled are very charming in some sense because there's this sense of genuine sovereignty that emanates from their being. And they might not be spiritually inclined, let's say, but the man with the full sack is going to be among the most hated when it comes to women, and they're also going to be the most loved when it comes to women as well. Generally anyone, but especially women, because women are much more in tune with the spiritual prowess of themselves and a man, even though they don't realize it. And this is going to cause them to feel certain things around you. Like, women feel so much around the man with the full sack, and yet they hate that they feel so much, and yet they love it. I can't tell you how many times women have genuinely felt this like exacerbating love for me, and then in the next moment, specifically while I've had my full sack on semen retention for the last few years, they'll go from like loving me to really just like their ego lashes out at me. And it's not really their fault. It's just that they haven't integrated who they are. So yeah, it is their fault in a way, but also it's not their fault because society doesn't teach you how to integrate your animus as a woman. Nobody teaches you this. And that's one of the reasons why I do what I do, is so that I can, in my godlike mastery offer, for example, be the help for those that actually want it. And whether it's a man wanting to integrate his anima, which is the totality of feminine experiences inside the male psyche, or for a woman to integrate her animus, which is the totality of masculine experiences inside a female psyche. You have to confront the shadow, though, first, before you confront the animus or the anima. And the reason for that is because I talked about the perniciousness at the very beginning of this video. Your inner woman or your inner man, per se, it's not necessarily like a personification inside of you. It's just something that you can relate to inside of you. And there's a sense of great terror that can come over you. It kind of reminds me of Nosferatu, the movie that came out a couple years ago. It's the vampire who became a vampire because of like dark magic, right? And now he's just an appetite. That's all he is just an appetite. Like, nothing can satiate his appetite. He's just hungry for more and more. And he's just the epitome of evil, right? He, as a personification of evil, that is what evil looks like. Like, in the light, his skin looks like flesh, and in the dark, his skin looks like this, just this kind of rotten flesh. It's all just very, blech. It's not flesh in the sense of like, ooh, you're glowing. Like, it's if you've ever seen it, it's very interesting. And the movie itself is very well done. Very well done as a movie. The CGI, there's hardly any CGI. And the story is very intriguing. But the woman who is in the movie, she is basically, I don't want to give too much away, but I'll just say it. So she's basically like this enchantress type of a woman. even though she doesn't really know it. She's something more than human, but she's not quite like a divine, being. But her fate is bound with this Nosferatu character. And the Nosferatu, the vampire, he is, mischievously done all of these things to convince her to do certain things. This is a woman who has not integrated her animus at all. Okay, we can look at it like that. Or we can look at the Phantom of the Opera. So the Phantom of the Opera, the Phantom himself, for Christine Daae, I'm surprised I remember that name, actually, because I haven't seen that movie for quite a while. But I'm not surprised also because it's just there. It's just, But anyway, so the Phantom is the dark side of the animus for the woman, for Christine Daae, whereas the other guy, shoot, I can't remember his name now. Well, whatever his name is, it's basically a love triangle. And so the Phantom's over here, Mr. Prince Charming is over here, and then Christine Daae is here. Christine Daae is like drawn to the dark mysteriousness of the Phantom, while also, she's really drawn to this, very light, compassionate, Prince Charming type of a man. And she ends up integrating her animus through basically rejecting and learning how to love with rejection the Phantom, which is the dark side of the animus in the story, you could say. And as a full sack man, you're going to have the best of both worlds with this. So you're going to be capable of it. You're not going to be like evil, of course, because I don't adhere to the belief system. I don't have belief systems. I don't adhere to the belief system that evil is real and it has to exist because I see it. It's like, well, it is real. It is real, but it doesn't have to be dealt with in a certain way in which we view the people as unlovable, because they are just so deep down in the darkness and they're so covered in the veil that that's just what it is. And that's what a lot of women are going through right now. And I think it is as conscious beings, as more conscious beings, especially men with full sacks, to recognize that women are going to feel a lot with us and they're not going to understand it because they haven't been shown how to integrate this. They haven't been shown how to integrate a healthy masculine man before into their life. And so you can either do one of two things. You can either just walk away because you don't really care to deal with it, or you can be patient with them and, try to be with the process. And that's going to be your own dharmic perspective as well. Like your dharma is your own personal coming to God, let's say, or coming to the soul of existence, however you want to look at it. And me, myself, I'm just in a position where trying to be with a woman and trying to make it work and having the patience and such, in the spirit of the time, I just am too focused and concentrated on building my life. Not that she wouldn't be a part of building my life in any way, because again, no matter what you do, no matter how you do it, if you are committed to the spiritual practice and the spiritual path, you're going to be focusing on working on yourself no matter what you do. So for me, in the spirit of the time, I'm just choosing not to even entertain a lot of these women because I just don't have it's not that I don't have the patience, it's just that I would prefer to work on my Regal timeline theory, for example, right now. Like I'm writing a book about this. I'd prefer to paint. I'd prefer to be creative. I'm going to channel that energy in a different way. So it's not that I don't want to be with women right now. It's not that I'm like choosing to walk away because I'm bitter or anything like that. I'm absolutely not. I love women. I love the feminine spirit. It's beautiful. It's very, very beautiful. However, I just see that a lot of them are basically children. They've never grown up. And so I would just rather devote my life force to being creative than trying to be patient for a woman that may or may not work out anyway. And, that's just my choice. I'm not saying you have to do this. I'm not saying you have to do this or you shouldn't do this or whatever. But as a full stack man, I'm just channeling my energy differently right now. So with women, it's really going to come down to what you want to embody. Who do you want to embody? And for me, I would prefer to embody more of a sage archetype that is more of a helping the collective raise the vibration of the collective and be the help and be the healing in that, rather than just the one individual. Not that there's anything wrong with that, it's just not my path in the spirit of the time. And who knows, that could change tomorrow. I mean, I really just go off of what the soul of existence says and what I am aiming to embody. And I really don't put a lot of focus on this, but I think it's important to discuss because a lot of men out there are interested in wanting to pursue relationships with women, but they just they don't understand or understand why women are behaving the way that they're behaving. And this is exactly why. They have not integrated anything psychologically. They are children. They are very much so children. Now, there are women out there that have integrated things, of course, and they've integrated parts of their psyche. And I've worked with women and am working with women in one-on-one sessions and godlike mastery, etc., where that's a possibility for them to integrate. I provide the architecture so that they can explore who they are. And that's, it's a system to help you get out of systems. That's the way that I describe it to both men and women. But with men, a lot of the godlike mastery offers that I've done with men are more focused on cultivating a stabilizing, everlasting foundation. Whereas with women, it's more about how can I stabilize myself so I can get into a healthy relationship? That's what women are more focused on. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. I actually think that's healthy. Because women, I don't think that I don't think they do as well as they could be doing unless they were with a healthy masculine man. And that's just the truth. It's not something that makes them deficient or anything like that. It's just that this is the way that the soul of existence expresses itself through women and through men. And it just so happens that that's the case. But really, this is the biggest thing that I see is, I think what it also is the psychic metabolism of both men and women are very poor. It's very poor psychic metabolism. What I mean by that is, they don't know how to self-regulate. Many men don't know how to self-regulate. They're very caught up in the anxiousness. And this is one of the reasons why men with full sacks are the way that they are. Because they've regulated their nervous system. What I've noticed with men is that the longer that they go on semen retention and the longer they're celibate, and for women as well, the more stabilized their nervous system. And we actually have the data to show that. You can look through the archives of the semen retention case study from a few weeks ago. I did a whole presentation on the results from that semen retention case study. And, we did a case study of about 10 men. We did more, but the data that we could accumulate that was most accurate was 10 men. And we tracked the data of their psychophysiological being for 30 days. And we saw how, if they relapsed or if they didn't relapse, what was the psychophysiological result. And it just so happens that the more longer that the men are retaining, and it just so happens that the less distracted they are, the less urges they are, the more creative they are, and the more stable their nervous system, or what I like to call, in regard to the Regal timeline theory, the solar timeline interface. because light is awareness and awareness is light. So I don't even like to call it a nervous system, because that narrative structure, it's like, ooh, it's a nervous system. Of course, there's a difference between nerve, but a lot of people associate the word nervous not with like nerve endings in the psychophysiological body, but they associate nervousness with, or yeah, being nervous, really, or acting nervous. So this took an interesting turn. I like to do free flow conversations while still kind of steering with the topic during these talks, and the people who are high in openness are usually going to be most drawn to these types of videos. So that's, and ones who are actually spiritually seeking something more for themselves. But with that being said, I'm sure that those that are ready to receive this message received it. And if you did receive this message and you found this to be insightful in some way, shape, or form, in the comment section, write Regal Timeline Narrative or Regal Narrative Structure. Whichever one you want to do, choose that, and you can write that down in the comment section if this resonates with you and you receive the message loud and clear. Peace be with you. Be blessed. Until next time.